Hey, Beatrice here with ICC and Parole Amate. We are at three letters that are WXY, WXY. They're not even officially part of the Italian alphabet, which just has 21 letters, unlike the 27 English ones. But of course, there are words coming into Italian from these letters, mostly words from other languages and cultures, like yoga, which means union, right? Union of the human and the divine, or concoctions from the ancient Greek, much like nostalgia, which you might remember, words like xenofobia, which is like xenophobia with an F instead of a PH. And perhaps the opposite of union, of yoga. It's this idea of the fear, not hatred, but fear of the foreign. And yes, and again, another word that I thought was ancient, which is in fact only coined and used by the French at first in the early 20th century. Another word in the sort of WXY group is vater, or VC, WC, which of course means toilet. And I thought it was spelled vater with a V because it's pronounced vater. Vater, like, so it sounded like vate, prophet, poet, plus R. But no, of course it's from the English water closet, except closet, perhaps the most important part, was cut, and only water, pronounced vater, remains. And it's one of those arbitrary shortenings that end up not making sense anymore in the language of origin. And there are several. There is, my father used to say trench, meaning trench coat. So coat is cut and you remain with trench. Bob, we used to call it bob in the snow. Of course, it's bobsled. Sled is cut. My mom would say, okay, preparate il beauty. And that was beauty case with case cut, and just beauty, bellezza, remaining as, you know, the thingy to put your toothbrushes and things in. And then more recently, it's email, posta elettronica, or electronic mail. It's somehow the E got also cut. So you just say, mandami una mail. So mail, M-A-I-L, is what remains of the idea of electronic mail, which to me, coming from the States, just feels funny. One little thing I do love in the sort of email world is that the @ sign is called in Italian chiocciola, snail. Okay, going back to sort of the vater world, gabinetto is a synonym meaning bathroom that contains a toilet. And it has an etymology similar to vater. It's from cabinet, the French, meaning a protected private space. But in reading through etymologies and the history of linguistics, there were these 17th century Italian linguists, some of them furious at its usage because it was too French. And now it seems like such a part of Italian vocabulary that it almost reads as funny. But I guess it made me think of all those big questions and linguistic oscillations where on one hand there is this attraction to the foreign language infiltrating, but a fear of loss, or a fear of a diminishment of nuance or something. In Italy, there's also, you know, the regional dialects, and our regional dialects, you know, does their richness or even usage get dissipated as a more standard Italian takes place? And it seems like some processes are inexorable. And then still you can ask, but which languages tend to dominate? Or, you know, what are the languages or dialects or words that disappear naturally, and what are the ones in a way forced to disappear? I don't know, big questions. As we approach the Z next Monday, which will be the last edition of this particular, you know, series of Parole Amate. There may be more, and I'm more than open to suggestions. I'll bring it up next week too. Also on Sunday at 1 p.m. is the ICC virtual Festa di Natale holiday party. So it's listed on our Facebook page and on Eventbrite. If you want to come, please do. Thank you, grazie, ciao.